Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Comics Should Smell Goods. We are going to hit you hard and fast this week, boom, 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 and we're going to start with Mr. Morgan on the end.
Me, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start out with a big return from Image Comics. The 5th issue of She-Wolf from Rich Tommaso is starting off the 2nd season of the series, this time switching around the main character to the former protagonist's little sister. I don't know how that really works, considering that the main character got bitten by her boyfriend and turned into a werewolf. There might be some gross stuff going on there. But either way, the new Black Baptism story arc is sure to be lots of good, weird goodness.
Very weird. I like that book.
Oh yeah,
Very cool.
Super weird.
And my first pick is also from Image, new number 1 that I'm really excited for, Loose Ends by Chris Brunner and Jason Latour and Rico Renzi. This was a book that got put out by 12 Gauge a couple years ago, and they only finished 3 out of the 4 issues, and now because all 3 of those guys are much more well known, they get a new release from Image, which is basically going to fill the niche for those of you who have been craving some more Southern crime now that Southern Bastards is on break. This book is seriously vicious and gorgeous. The color on this, Rico Renzi is probably turning in some of the best work of his career. Very, very excited, and hopefully we will finally get to see the end of this miniseries.
Yeah, you could say since they didn't finish it the first time that they're tying up some loose ends, maybe.
Ooh.
It's almost like they planned it.
Wow.
Let me jump in here with my first pick before we get any more weird connections here. Mine is Civil War II: The Oath. A lot of things about Marvel events, like, you love them when they're happening, you're kind of glad when they're done, you're ready to move because they've kind of like already moved on, but the epilogues are kind of really cool. Like, I remember in the first Civil War there was this great one-shot called The Confession, so I'm really looking forward to this one. This kind of picks up, it's like, in the ashes, it's like Captain Marvel and Iron Man, who, well, I'm not going to give away what's going on with Iron Man, Tony Stark right now, but somehow they both turn to Steve Rogers. But of course, Steve Rogers is Hydra.
He's a Nazi, right?
He's kind of a Nazi. Hydra, you know? So it's kind of like, how do they turn to him? What does it mean? It's written by Nick Spencer, who is, of course, writing Steve Rogers, Captain America, and probably is going to be one of the architects of Secret Empire, which is a big event later this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what it is. I think it's going to be a lot of cool wrapping up of what happened and kind of moves you forward with what's going on in Marvel in 2017. Bam.
Okay. Well, speaking of big Marvel events, the current Marvel event is one of the biggest in size of the threat, at least. I mean, they're literal giant monsters. They're pretty huge, you know? And Monsters Unleashed has 2 tie-in issues out this week, the .mu issues of Avengers and Spider-Man Deadpool. So in case you weren't getting enough, like, storyline shenanigans from Spider-Man and Deadpool, you have a sweet one-shot story of them fighting a giant purple and green monster with lots of tentacles and gross stuff going on. They keep calling it an eggplant, and, you know, it's Deadpool fighting a giant monster. He's not gonna make fun of it.
That's true.
And over in the Avengers, I don't know, they're doing Avenger stuff and fighting some big things. Hercules is probably yelling at it and comparing it to something he fought like a billion years ago.
This is true.
I will say I did love, I think we still have it, the first issue of Monsters Unleashed by Steve McNiven and Cullen Bunn. If you didn't get it, you should come in and grab it because I love the team because there's monsters all over the world, but there's a scene in Seattle when a monster attacks the Space Needle, and there's an awesome line by, I won't give it away, you should just come in here and get it, but thank you Cullen Bunn for sending this famous super team to save Seattle from the monsters.
Kaiju!
Yeah, save us from those monsters that are stealing our homes.
That's right. My next book is from Dark Horse. It is the next part of the Avatar Last Airbender continuation by Jean Luen Yang and artist Gurihiru. This book is friggin' amazing. Always exciting when the new one comes out. This is North-South Part 2, which sees Sokka and oh my god, I'm blanking on her name.
Katara?
Katara returning to the South Pole for the first time since they left it, like however many episodes years ago at this point, and kind of tying up some loose ends with that, and of course delving into new civil wars between the North and the South. But really, really excited. Part 2 of 3, and this book is just, it's better than it really has any right to be a media tie-in, and it's the official continuation done in close contact with the creators themselves, so it's very close to the original story. But yeah, really excited for that.
I gotta wonder, how do you have a civil war between the North and South poles? They're kind of on the opposite sides of the
Ideology.
planet. Oh, okay.
It's a war of one's kind of hoity-toity. They're the ones like
do they
we're
even
tribes.
have phones in the Avatar universe? How would they have a battle of ideology?
Magical
It's on the other side of the planet.
Magical portals, dude.
Okay,
you
okay,
know?
whatever. Just
They
saying.
bend the elements.
Doesn't make any sense, man. I can believe bending the elements, but that out of the question.
You know who would have an impact on the poles? Magneto, which kind of, I like to say Magneto,
But you'd be wrong.
but I was
You
wrong.
would.
Probably because I just said it right. So anyway, this leads into my next pick, IVX, also known as Avengers vs. X-Men, number 3.
You mean Inhumans?
What did I say?
I mean,
Avengers.
don't you know? The Inhumans are the new Avengers.
That's right.
That's
Well,
right.
that
Oh,
was kind
sorry,
of
that's right.
layered, I guess.
A few
yeah.
years ago, God, I'm really. Oh, my mind's going bad. There was an Avengers X versus X-Men a long time ago, and the X-Men should have won. It was Tony Stark's fault. But anyway, so in this one, the X-Men are kind of justified because the Terrigen mist that's covering the Earth, it's about to saturate the Earth, and the Earth will be completely uninhabitable to mutants. So of course, they are really like, if you don't really like what they did with Cyclops, making him a super aggressive badass, which I loved, like the X-Men are just kind of like under the influence of Emma Frost, and Storm's kind of falling in line, and they've pretty much taken out all the heavy hitters in the Inhumans universe. They've taken over New Adeland. They're making their plans. But what's going to happen? How will Medusa and her team kind of counterstrike? It's going to be kind of up to some of the younger new humans, if you will. It's been a lot of fun. But there's also another tie-in issue this week. This week's Extraordinary X-Men by Jeff Lemire. If IVX is the big fight between the big battles, this kind of gives you kind of some what else is going on some of the other characters. So really exciting, a lot of fun. I love the X-Men. I actually love the Inhumans too, but
They're great.
I have to pull for them. And anyway, they're all going to be resurrected and come spring.
Right.
So anyway, but I have fun with Charles Soule and Jeff Lemire's big clash of the Marvel families.
Okay, and let's see. Yes, my next book is Hulk, number 2. Written by Mariko Tamaki and drawn by Nico Leon, I want to say. It would help if I had the physical book here in my hand to read the credits, but, technical difficulties.
Minor.
Either way, this new Hulk book is starring former She-Hulk Jennifer Walters, who is now huge and gray and covered in scars, glowy radioactive scars, when she's hulked up, which she's actually actively avoiding because of a certain amount of, you can call it PTSD, I guess, from the events of Civil War II, between, getting beaten into a coma by Thanos and waking up to find out that her cousin Bruce Banner got shot in the back of the head, or the back, depending on which panel you look at.
Sure,
That layout was kind of wonky.
Yeah.
But
And she got a
he
missile
killed
in the
by
chest.
Hawkeye. Yeah, she got a missile in the chest, and then Thanos was like, "Oh, that's not enough. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you." So yeah, really rough times for Jennifer Walters, but she's back to lawyering. She's pulling through, she's doing her thing, but sometimes just wears down on you, man. Sometimes the beast comes out. Will it come out and smash the whole city, or will she keep it under control? I don't know. It's almost like you gotta read to find out.
Right. And my next book is the 4th in the Love series, published by Magnetic. Federico Bertolucci and Frederic Bernard bring you Dinosaurs. These have been amazing silent stories about different animals and the environment and how the two interact. And it's just really, it's like watching Planet Earth but without David Attenborough. And before you go like, oh man, it has its own soundtrack. It's the rhythm of nature, and it's the rhythm of how these animals heroes survive day to day. And truly, this is just a great all-ages book. It's even, educational, you might say. You might actually learn something. I know that's kind of scary. It's all right.
I like the sound of that.
I know. Imagine that this is a dinosaur instead of a lion, but Magnetic is producing these really great thin hard covers, these nice rounded corners. The colors in the cover are all really, really great, and these have just been truly, truly stunning pieces of comic book work. And it's definitely a treat when another one comes out. And who doesn't like dinosaurs? Exactly.
I love them.
That's right.
Speaking of spectacular art and weird creatures, my pick is Reborn number 3.
4.
Are we on 4?
Four.
We're on number 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jeez, Will.
Sorry, I gotta catch up. I'm just so astounded by the art of Mr. Greg Capullo. If you're not going to be doing Batman Forever with Scott Snyder, which we always wish you could, this is amazing because he's created this incredible world written by Mark Millar, and it's kind of like it's a whole fantasy world of what happens after you're dead. And so this woman, she's kind of reborn into this fantasy world. So is this a real world? Is it just fantasy? A landslide. It's an escape from reality. Thank you very much. So a beautiful work, and she's kind of reunited with her father, but he's not what it seems. And there's all kinds of weird creatures and fantasy, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's got kind of a Stephen King-ish kind of fantasy world with all weird creatures and villains and all. But it's beautiful work. It's kind of I'm enjoying it. It's a great detour from the all the other superhero spandex stuff that I do, which I love. But this is a nice change of pace.
It's good
in the repertoire.
Yeah, and I know it wasn't what you meant when you said it, but
What
now
did
I
I say?
really want to read a Batman Forever comic by Greg Capullo.
Oh,
I think that would be really,
Val Kilmer,
really cool.
dude. That would be pretty badass.
And the Riddler
Yeah.
and Two-Face as Tommy
Yeah.
Lee Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, before I go any further with that fantasy, my final book for this week is G.I. Joe number 2.
Yes.
Not just any G.I. Joe, but G.I. Joe drawn by Yanni Milonayani.
Yeah.
Badass, technical, tactical sci-fi drawn by the most hardcore of Greek artists. And also featuring a Transformer. They have, Skywarp or one of those other,
Yeah, it is
douchebag
Skywarp,
plane
yep.
Transformers.
Yep.
There's, 5 of them. They all look the same, except
They
with
do.
different paint jobs.
Yeah.
But they're all fighting against a sort of a Cobra insurgence going on in Greece. Young kids are picking up the Cobra logo to, who knows if they're doing it just to piss off their parents or, because they hate the government or what. Either way, it's happening. And the Dreadnoks are helping it along. Yeah, those badass biker dudes, the
Yes.
Australian ones who work for
Yes.
Zartan and, fight with cinder blocks on pipes as sledgehammers. Which there's
Yeah.
a really cool cover of by Aaron Conley.
Yeah. And my final pick of the week, to celebrate what would be the 100th birthday of the king, that is Jack Kirby, we have Commandy Challenge number 1. This is the beginning of 12 issues,
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
say, where each issue is done by a different creative team, and they'll be kind of cliffhangering into each other to create what will probably be a very insane story.
Yeah.
This first one is brought to you by Dan Didio, Dan Abnett, and the freaking amazing monster artist, Dale Eaglesham. Dale Eaglesham is one of the best Kirby-esque or whatever, influenced artists working in comics today.
It's half Kirby, half Rosetta.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
no, and which is perfect for Commandy. He's got this really primal kind of burly fantasy feel mixed with Kirby layout type of things. The Commandy Challenge 100-page special came out last week to kind of prime you on this. But Commandy, the Last Boy on Earth, is one of the best 70s things that Kirby did, and has been mined for ideas for 40 years now. But this is definitely going to be a nice return to some more fun DC things, with a beautiful Bruce Timm cover, who unfortunately is not doing any interior art because he makes too much money to do comics. So, anyway, yeah, I'm at least very happy that they are honoring the 100th birthday of Jack Kirby, and there's a cool little logo, too, that'll be on all sorts of the books and stuff, and they'll be doing a celebration this year. I think that wraps us
And we're
up
done.
this week. Comics will be a little late again, which is why we're moving our hands a lot this week. So check on the Facebook page. We'll probably have another update when this gets posted here. But thank you for your patience, and we did get last week's books finally, if you didn't come in and get those. So hopefully we'll see you all soon, and thanks for watching.